Welcome, friends, to another episode of the XGN network. Today, we're gonna read some news and we're just gonna casually talk about it. So, it's not a report today, it's just a commentary. Not only news, I have some things for you. So, before I go any further, I'm your host, Xanthi S, and I'm the 1/3 of the XGN group. Here, I read this one on Kotaku. New shooter is the Duke Nukem sequel we deserve. Now, forget Duke Nukem forever and instead check out the last Exterminator's free demo. That is interesting. So, the last Exterminator might not be an official Duke Nukem 3D sequel, but its crunchy combat, interactive environments, and retro visuals provide a much better alternative to the actual Duke Nukem sequel we got back in 2011. 1996 Duke Nukem 3D was a fantastic first-person shooter that also happened to include some fun interactive bits like flashable toilets, working light switches, etc. But the massively delayed sequel, Duke Nukem Forever, launched to thunders. Meh. I guess I didn't like. Yeah. I haven't played it, but I remember many of friends and people online, they thought it was like, yeah, okay. Like it wasn't meh, as it says here. So, as mentioned in our review, Duke Nukem Forever confused what made Duke Nukem 3D memorable with what made it enjoyable, resulting in a bad shooter filled with stale ideas and more boring minigames. But in contrast, the upcoming Steam shooter, The Last Exterminator, find it hard to say, The Last Exterminator, is a game that understands that what made Duke Nukem 3D good wasn't the gimmicks, but the fast-paced, action-packed combat. Yeah, I mean, it's always good, right? It isn't out yet, but a demo for the retro shooter is currently available to play as part of Steam's ongoing Next Fest event. Wait, what is it? Let me go check. There it is. Demo. But it looks like that. I mean, it looks like a 90s graphics shooter, and it looks fun. So you can go and check it out if you want to. Okay, let's move on. Let's see what else is there. Yeah. Okay. It was published yesterday. One of gaming's most hated CEOs says goodbye again. I mean, I don't know. Do I feel sorry for the guy or not? I mean, you shouldn't hate on people. Okay, if they make bad business decisions, don't hate on people. Hate is not good. Don't wish them bad or anything. I mean, of course, express your disappointment and say this was a horrible move, but don't hate on people. So, CEO John how do you pronounce his name? Riccitiello has retired from game development software company Unity after possibly its worst month of bad headlines ever. Yeah, it happened. I mean, yeah. So the tech company, if you don't know, the tech company that slowly morphed into an in-game advertising firm announced a confusing and seemingly predatory new set of fees for game makers in September. So, game makers, they were using Unity to make games, very simplified, okay? Only to walk the policy back after studios threatened to abandon the Unity engine moving forward. James Whitehurst, former head of the IBM acquired open source software company Red Hat, will take over from Riccitiello, let's go with Riccitiello, okay, as interim CEO while Unity's board of directors search for a new long-term replacement. So he said that it's been a privilege to lead Unity for nearly a decade and serve our employees, customers, developers, and partners, all of whom have been instrumental to the company's growth. Of course, you say those things when you retire. Of course, okay. I look forward to supporting Unity through this transition and following the company's future success. I mean, yeah, what can you say? You cannot say anything more, right? So he joined Unity back in 2014, shortly after leaving Electronic Arts. He oversaw the game engine company's shift from one-time licensing fees to an ongoing subscription model, launched the IPO in 2020, and made a series of acquisitions, including the in-app monetization from Iron Source in 2020. Now, when Unity first went public, its stock price was around $68. today, or at least at the time of writing of this article, which was yesterday, it's just over $30. Now, what happened is that Unity is being left by Riccitello a month after a bungled new monetization strategy rolled out, turned bridges with tons of game makers. The initial messaging made it sound like game developers might be charged fees every time their game was installed, including retroactively. A follow-up apology by President and General Manager Mark Whitten later clarified that the new terms would only apply beginning in 2024 and laid out much bigger carve-outs for smaller studios whose games don't hit a certain threshold of income. But for many developers, it was too late. Now, from my little business experience, and my business experience is that I have worked my family's business. I worked in my own business, which I was a freelancer. I have worked employed in big companies, in small companies, big companies. I see those things. Companies make mistakes, okay? Businesses make mistakes. This was obviously a mistake. To make a follow-up apology, and usually when you have now, please correct me. Please, seriously, let me know if I'm wrong. In a civilized matter, let me know in the comments what you think about this. So, the CEO made that business decision to charge more, right? For the licensing of their Unity engine. And it was not well accepted, to say the least. It was a mistake. Maybe it was like preposterous. Of course, they saw it like that. Like, it was horrible. A very bad decision. If your colleague go out and say sorry, it means like they admit that, yes, that was wrong. I guess that's what they wanted to do. I guess it's like it's a PR thing. It's very diplomatic, or I don't know how politically correct. If it's a good, solid company, you support each other. I have worked at a company, I will not name it, but one person in the company, not in the higher levels, okay, made a mistake, a big mistake, okay? Made a mistake. A mistake was made, okay? Not once did the authority, the bosses, accuse that person of that mistake. It's like, we protect our own. It was that mentality. And we're going to stand by it. That is not what I say here. So I guess internally, maybe that decision was not like unanimous. Is that the word? So yeah, what I want to say, it makes me think that was not an unanimous opinion, maybe. Because if it was, I don't know. Okay. Yes, I get it. You go out and you don't apologize, or I don't know if it was really an apology, or if the article is writing it apology by a different person, not by himself. If it was him saying that, okay, we hear you guys, we're gonna make some changes, or I don't know what to say. Of course, you have to address it. If you see that your customers, because it is their customers, the clients, they are not satisfied with your product for whatever reason, if it's because of your licensing policy, the product itself is not good, you have to listen and you have to adapt and make changes and, satisfy them. But maybe not everyone wanted to go through with that. So anyway, yeah, it was wrong, I guess. Yes, it was very wrong. I don't know if I make sense. I hope you understand what I mean. If you don't, ask me, or don't ask me. Whatever. Let me know what you think, really. So rethinking monetization more aggressively was also one of Riccitello's legacies at EA. Yeah, okay. We see where this is coming from, right? His 7 years at the FIFA, now EA Sports FC, and Battlefield publisher saw it experiment with Day 1 DLC, microtransactions and a focus on post-launch content, which is horrible. It is horrible. It's horrible. While there was no week-long crisis moment on the scale of what happened at Unity last month, it's clear he helped usher in the company's current live service era, which many players now feel nickel and dimed by. Madden and FIFA's loot box modes were both added while he was head of EA, though they didn't become the billion-dollar windfalls they are today until the tenure of his successor, current CEO Andrew Wilson. So, okay, obviously we see that this guy, he's after money in a way. I mean, everyone is after money, okay? You're a business, you need to make money to, like, survive. But especially what they say, that day one DLC and microtransactions, no, this is so that has no. And of course there are people that are doing it, but it's no, I'm very against it. Give me a game that is complete. Give me a DLC after a year or something that adds value to that extra after I have finished a complete game, and don't expect me to buy the game, and in order to play part of the game on day one you want me to pay more. No, this is ridiculous. So, and then we have the unforced error came shortly after the company revealed hundreds of layoffs. So maybe that was a panic move, they had to increase their margins. At the same time, it was buying Iron Source in a $40.4 billion all stock deal, okay? 600 more were laid off at Unity earlier this year. Meanwhile, Ricciatello, in addition to the millions he has in Unity stock, he will be kept on salary until April of 2024. Okay, that is not uncommon. That happens when you are a CEO. You might be fired tomorrow, like pack up your things and go, but it's often in their contracts. It is negotiated, like you have 6 months or a year salary. Maybe 6 months is more common. I don't know, but that's not uncommon. Anyway, let's move on. More money scandals in a way. I wanted to talk about this. Overwatch 2 locks the new Diablo 4 skins behind a bundle that costs as much as Overwatch 1. And players are unhappy. Okay, I have played Overwatch, but on the computer, like not online, just to test it out. Fun game, and actually not on the computer. What am I saying? It was on the PlayStation. Just wanted to see how it's fun. Okay. So Overwatch 2 is getting new skins that clothe Moria and Farah in the outfits of Diablo 4's Lilith and Inarius. Cool. But those skins are part of a new wave of cosmetics incoming for the game Season 7, Rise of Darkness. I mean, I would like to play as, Lilith. It would be fun, I guess, since I'm a fan of Diablo. But they are not part of the standard premium battle pass. Instead, they will cost you another $40. And this is where I say no, like, okay, come on. Make it $5 or something. If you want to put a price tag, as much as the whole $40, as much as the whole of Overwatch 1 did when it was first released. I mean, there are many games that cost $40, not AAA titles, but many games. As you can imagine, people aren't too chuffed. Of course, the Lilith, Moria, and Inarius Farah, did I say it correctly? Skins are part of Overwatch 2 Ultimate Battle Pass bundle, which also includes a pumpkin spice skin for Bastion. 2,000 Overwatch coins, which can be spent in the Hero Shooters in-game store, and 20 tier skips that will accelerate you through the Battles Pass unlock levels. The problem is that the Diablo crossovers were heavily promoted during the run-up to the new season, only to be locked behind the most expensive tier. There's also no option to buy either skin separately, or to buy the bundle with any saved in-game currency rather than real money. So one player wrote here, the skin that was the focus point of advertisements for this season is exclusive to the 40 bundle. Good job, Blizzard. Obviously sarcastic. So yeah, don't do those things, you guys. Of course, they will never stop doing that. Now, what else? Oh, let's go to Starfield. The Starfield player who surveyed all 1,000 planets. Now, Grimskull from our channel, right? He is playing Starfield, so go watch the replays. Go tune in on Midweek Mayhem. He streams, and often nowadays he streams Starfield, so go watch him. And I always make jokes that, oh, is it you that did that? Is it you that did that? When they have titles. No, it's not him. Anyway, what I wanted to say is that oh yeah, you cannot see the whole title, sorry, but it says that meet the Starfield player who surveyed all 1,000 planets. Like, how many hours do you have to play? Are you a student, or are you like doing nothing? And by student I mean, of course, students, guys, you have to go to school and study, but we don't. I know, I have been there. I remember I had to write my thesis, and I felt so bad because, okay, I have to write. I was thinking, okay, I will work from now until, I don't know, from 8 in the morning until roughly 8 hours, but not always, but roughly 8 hours work on my thesis. And after that, I was counting the hours. I was not at school at the time. It was summer. I wanted to play World of Warcraft, but there were so many days that I did not do any of my thesis, and I was just playing World of Warcraft back then. Vanilla. Yes, I'm that old. Ahead of the launch of Starfield, Bethesda chief Todd Howard said that there were over 1,000 planets to explore in this game. From barren but resource-heavy ice balls to Goldilocks planets with life. And not just this system, but over 100 systems, over 1,000 planets, all open for your explore. So, how could any game have so many planets for the player to fully explore? How could such a thing be fun? Well, Bethesda's answer came in the form of procedural generation. Not all 1,000 planets would be handcrafted by developers, but a small portion would be. And actually, Howard would go on to reveal that only 10% of Starfield's planets would have life on them. Still, it's a lot, over 1,000 planets. So, a month after Starfield came out, one player has done it to explore all those planets. Joss, or as they are known on Reddit, Doom Zero, is that Starfield player. This is an article from IGN. A true scientific explorer, the thread title reads, fully surveyed every planet possible, and there is a screenshot showing the details of this monumental effort. So he posted, he, she, whatever. It says they, we don't know. Joss, it's usually, no, not always, could be whatever. So the planet fully surveyed figure, it's that planet's fully surveyed figure we're most interested in here. Howard, in hindsight, undersold Starfield with that over 1,000 planets to explore line. Doom Zero was able to fully survey an eye-watering 1,694 planets. Really? A few planets are apparently bugged, blah, blah, blah. Let's go. How did Doom Zero go about completing this unique in-game challenge? Why do it in the first place? What did they find along the way? IGN asked the burning questions, and in the answers found the beating heart of Starfield unveiled. Unveiled? How do you say that? Sorry. Once I started playing and learned about the surveying and fully surveying planets, the idea just kind of got stuck in my head. Doom Zero says when asked what motivated them to survey its planet, although they admit they're not really sure. I'm a bit of a completionist. Let me cue, this one is for you. And thought that it would just be a cool personal accomplishment. I mean, how many... I largely worked my way across the galaxy map from left to right, top to bottom, trying not to miss any systems on the way. I think... a memory comes into my head, which I don't know. Mass Effect, right? I think I have explored. Have I explored all of the planets possible? I don't know. Or do I want to believe that I have? Anyway, no. Oh, okay. Now we come to the how. the how as in time. It's hard not to talk to Doom Zero about their space adventure without asking how long it took. Doom Zero has played Starfield for around 200 hours so far, and probably 180 of those were spent surveying. I have 60 hours logged on Death Stranding, and I thought that was a lot. Given Starfield was just a month old when Doom Zero posted their accomplishment on Reddit, that is on average over 6.5 hours every day, 7 days a week, for 30 days straight. Okay, yes, if you go to work and you don't have any other responsibilities and you come home, then yeah, okay, you have 6 hours, you come home, you eat something, optional, I guess. And then you can play. If you do that every day and you don't do anything else, okay, yes, it's doable. Now I know, now I get it, now that we have the numbers. That's impressive, however. So I did a couple of the main quests to get the game started and a few side activities along the way as well, but it was mostly serving. So okay, I mean, you can do that if you just don't follow the quest line, and you just do that, sure. Fun, but it's fun. I mean, yeah, why not? There are more news. European Union reportedly won't require fresh probe into Microsoft's revised Activision Blizzard deal. News comes ahead of expected UK approval. So that was published yesterday. Yeah. And it's looking increasing like what is going to happen? It should happen like any day now, right? It's looking increasingly likely. Microsoft's proposed $69 billion. Do you say dollars or dollar? $69 billion. Yes, American dollars. Acquisition of Activision Blizzard will have cleared its final hurdle if, as is widely expected, UK regulators approve the revised deal later this week. It's been reported European regulators won't require an investigation into the revised terms, clearing the way for the acquisition to conclude. Because they're tired, like, okay, we checked it out, it's good, let's get it over with, I guess. The European Commission approved Microsoft's original acquisition proposed back in May, after successfully securing a number of concessions to lessen the deal's potential impact on the emerging cloud gaming market. However, okay, there are many things going on here, which I'm not going to start talking about those things now, because I'm not really sure about the cloud gaming market, like how it is, like the state that it is right now, but I will get back to you. However, Microsoft was forced to submit a revised proposal after the deal was blocked by the UK's Competition and Markets Authority. But what I want to say, it is not uncommon for companies that they want to buy other companies to go through those rounds globally and speak to the authorities, the regulators of its country, to get approval. And that's not unique to the gaming industry, but to other industries as well. Because when you make merges, like companies merge or buyouts of that extent, you have to like make sure that the people that live and work in one country, just because it's going to be like a merge or like a buyout or, you know, an acquisition, that there won't be like massive layoffs or whatever, stuff like that. Very oversimplified, my explanation. That was overly simplified, but yeah. Yes, and these revised terms, which will give Ubisoft exclusive control of streaming rights for Activision titles, this is very interesting, outside of the EU, were provisionally approved by the CMA in September, and the regulators is expected to formally approve the deal this Friday, the 13th of October. So, okay, tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Friday the 13th. Now, Bloomberg now reports that the European Commission has been assessing the revised terms, but according to people familiar with the matter, has concluded that changes designed to appease UK regulators don't raise any new competition concern that would alter its original findings. Okay, yeah. And in a statement provided to Bloomberg, the European Commission spokesperson acknowledged European Union regulators had been assessing the potential impact of Microsoft revisions, but declined to comment further on the specifics of the publication's report. We will see. It's very interesting, right? It's very interesting. With that note, on that note, whatever, I'm gonna thank you for participating in today's like news. I don't know how to call it. Well, it is news. It is news, but in a more casual. It was not like reporting, just discussing. And I wanted to talk about the market and the budget of Cyberpunk. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I am really interested in knowing, like, leave a comment of everything I discussed. Civilized. You can argue, you can disagree, you can agree, but we keep it civilized. Make sure to follow us on our social media below, in the link below, and join us on our Discord server. We are having fun. We are a small community, but we're having fun. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye-bye.